Peace and love, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Coming through with the weekly stock market analysis report. This week, we're going to be going over what happened last week in the markets, answering a few questions. Is this did the market bottom out and did we retrace? And is this a pump fake? Is this a real reversal? Is this again a pump fake? A lot of people are saying that this is a big bull trap and whatnot. So let's get right into it. Let's start off. We're going to look at SPY and look at what took place last week. Last week we was really it all started on Friday. Friday, 2 Fridays ago actually, we got this red candle. It opened up here at 393 and it went all the way down. It fell really hard that day. And then the last hour and a half of the markets on that Friday, it reversed and went off and retraced back almost to where it opened on that day. It opened at 393. It retraced from 380 all the way back to 389. So that was the symbol right there that things could be reversing right here. That's a reversal candle. We see that buyers stepped in heavily on that Friday, and they pushed the market price, pushed the price back up more than 50% of that candle. So that was the first sign. And then Monday we came out, created a new high, and then it gapped down on Friday. It went down to retest this low, and buyers stepped in again and pushed it up. Wednesday, we started moving again. Thursday, it was going, and Friday, it gapped up again. It just took off. So, is this the bottom? Is this, did we hit a level of support where we could reverse? But let's look at it. Let's look at it from the monthly time frame on the chart, and we see here we got a reversal candle going right here with this nice wick, and it's already retraced more than 50% of this monthly candle. It did not take out these previous levels over here to the left. It did not take out any of these levels. So it pivoted, and now it's running hard in the other direction. So, we hear a lot of stuff every week. We hear about, how this is a bear market. I think the magic number was supposed to be 380. Oh, we hit 380. We are in a bear market now and things like that. But if you look at the market really since January, we've been on a decline. The SPY was up to 479, and it retraced back to 380. That's a $100 move from SPY in 5 months' time. So, one could say we've been in a bear market all this time, but that doesn't mean that it's an absolute that we're going to continue to fall. I got caught in that, you know what I mean? Thinking that it would reverse. However, especially what the market is teaching me during this time is, man, if you are wrong, right, get out and follow the money. It's as simple as let's look at this daily. I forget which day it was, but I got caught right up in here, which was on Tuesday. No, I got caught on Wednesday. I'm sorry. At the end, I grabbed some puts right up in this area because I was under the thinking that SPY was not going to break 400. And you see that the high was 399.45. And I felt that we would get a nice pullback to the downside. So I entered puts right up here. When I seen it reverse, it did not break 400. Um, I grabbed puts at the end of the session, you know, and on that Thursday, it gapped up and took off. Right. So when I got it, found myself in that situation because it was a very critical part. If we look at the weekly chart, uh, 400 is right here. So, uh, so I was looking at the chart like we could still come to the downside, but it didn't. Let's look back at the daily. So I got caught right here. Now, I didn't try to fight the market when it did what I didn't think it would do. Uh, I didn't sulk. I didn't beat myself up. Times past, I would have you know, uh, probably stayed in there a little bit longer than what I did. But instead, I got out at the open and I followed the money and I got into calls. Um, I did not expect it to reverse right then and there, but it did. And so, what I'm saying is, trade what's right in front of you. Um, you know, don't get caught up in trying to be right. I've done a lot of that and whatnot, and that's a learning process, and that's something that you're gonna have to get comfortable with in your trading. Coming to the realization, listen, I'm wrong, right? I thought it was going to the downside. It gapped up and took off, right? So boom, market order, sell, boom, jump into puts. And I ended up, down here. And I ended up getting on this day about nearly 200%. And I didn't have a perfect entry or nothing like that, but just following the money and following what the market is giving you, trading what's right in front of you. If we let's look at the 15-minute chart. So this is Wednesday when I got them. I got the puts right up in here, and I was riding this thing. It started to move down a little bit. I was like, yeah, it's going to be, I'm good. We'll get a continuum of that on Thursday. It didn't happen. We gapped up in the pre-market, consolidated, and boom, it popped. This big wide range bar right here, this here was a symbol enough for me to say, okay, we're not going to the downside, right? So I jumped into my calls, and I got in around right around here at 400. Because again, I stuck to my principle. I was saying that the market wouldn't go to 400, right? Well, it did, right? And okay, so now throw that plan away, scrap that plan, and now get in your calls and run those. So I got right here, right? But it wasn't the end of the day. It wasn't nothing to panic about. I just got into my calls and we've been running it. I got out on Thursday. Another thing I've been doing is I've been literally getting in things and getting out of things. So the question that was asked to me, is it time for us to go long? Is it time to quote unquote buy these dips? Well, let's look at the monthly again. According to this monthly chart, and we have one day, Tuesday will be the last day of the month. So this candle is a reversal candle with this big wick right here at the bottom, and we still could get some more push on this thing come tomorrow when the market opens. So, but let's look at that. Let's look at futures right now. Let's look at the daily and see what the S&P is doing right now. So we see that this is from yesterday. And then today we see that it's basically, it opened up and now it's pulling back. All pullbacks is not necessarily, this pullback is not necessarily a bad thing. It's is what I believe setting us up for a good entry on some things, because nothing ever goes. The stock market goes up, it goes down, and it goes sideways. So although we've been on a nice little run with the S&P, at some point it's going to pull back. That doesn't mean that it's going to reverse and come back down here immediately. But I think we got a lot of room to the upside based off of let's look at the monthly, same thing, big wick, reversal candle. We also still have one more day left. Um, Also, looking at the weekly chart, uh, this is last week's chart is nearly a fully engulfed green candle, right? And it's taken out the previous 2 weeks, the highs of those previous 2 weeks. So to say that, I say all that to say this, and then I'm looking at my support levels compared to the support levels over here. I think that we have that, and looking at this fully engulfed candle, I'm looking at that we are reversing and that money is starting. We saw that last week that money was starting to flood into the markets and things began to take off. So that's my analysis on the S&P. Yes, I believe that we are getting ready to run. We're about to get some uptick on a lot of these stocks, and the market is about to reverse. However, I am not falling in love with calls. I'm still trading as what the market gives us, as opposed to what I think it is going to do. Like just looking at what I'm looking at, there's nothing that's telling me that, okay, we're about to, after having a fully engulfed weekly candle like this, there's nothing that's telling me that we're going back to the downside. Do I think we're going to pull back some? Yes, I do. I do believe we're going to pull back a little bit, somewhere around here to, like, I would say on SPY, I would say about 412 maybe at the lowest, to get a good entry. But we'll have to take another look at that in the morning as far as, but I do think we'll pull back just a little bit, and then we're going to continue with the uptrend. Let's look at the daily. We have a nice, beautiful trend line that was forming for the last week, if you will, and we broke out on Monday and took out these highs over here and whatnot. So now we're headed to test these levels up here at the 430 mark on SPY. Let's look at the NASDAQ as well. Same thing. We had a nice drop and we consolidated for days. And then on Thursday, it started its move to the upside. Friday, took out these previous levels, these previous highs. So these are all shifts of a reversal. Let's look at the monthly real quick. Same thing like with SPY with this wick at the bottom. The buyers stepped in. It did not take out these previous lows over here. It found a bottom here. So the way it's looking, the NASDAQ is looking like it's ready to move to the upside as well. Not bearish on it at all right now. Let's look at the weekly. Same thing, last week it took out these previous highs and whatnot. It created a higher low and a higher high. So this week is going to be interesting to see, will it hold? Will the market, is this just a pullback? Meaning, are we just getting some uptick on these stocks, and then we're going to get an even more powerful move to the bottom? That could possibly happen, right? Just, I don't see that happening right now. not headed into the market on Tuesday. The way things are looking right now, I'm bearish. I'm bullish. I'm sorry. I'm bullish on the NASDAQ as well. Those are a lot of your tech stocks, you know. Same thing with the Dow. The Dow has been getting beat up for weeks. And last week, the Dow, this week, let's look at it. Dow damn near opened, it dipped just slightly, and it just basically made this big, huge green candle and took out the previous 2 weeks' highs. It's created a higher high and a higher low. So again, looking at the main indices, there's nothing that's right in front of me. Looking at starting from the monthly, see the big wick, buyer stepped in. That's on the monthly chart. It's very well, unless something drastic happens. But again, nothing is showing me that this is going to the downside. It looks like we found support. If you look right here, it did not take out any of these lows. So that's my perspective on how the markets are shifting. How long will it last? Because see, this is nothing but, if we're looking at the monthly chart, this is nothing but a real big consolidation areas, right? So I'm not saying that we're going to the moon. But what I am saying, as of now, there's nothing that's really telling me where I could that could confirm to me that the market is about to be bearish. So trade what's in front of you. You know, don't overthink this thing, right? If it's going up, you go up with it. Get your calls. If it's going down, you get your puts. But heading into this week, I'm bullish on the markets. That could all change in a matter of days. We know how things are, because I'm not convinced that we're necessarily out of this bearish run that we were in. This could be a pullback to a certain level. Let's look at SPY again. This could be a pullback to this could be a run up here to these levels right here at 429. If it breaks 430, it could very well continue upwards. I don't know. I'm just going to trade. Right now, my perspective is right now, I'm looking for it to run up here and retest this 429, 430 level. That's what I'm looking for. I got my alert set for where I want to enter. I got this is another level of resistance right here in this area, 421. So in the short term, as of tomorrow, my short-term perspective is that we can at least get up here to this level, 421. Seeing that we got some pullback going on in the futures market right now, we'll have to play that by eye as far as entry and things like that. But I'm not bearish on the market right now at all. I'm liking what I'm seeing. These are big, huge, healthy candles, big green, fully engulfed nearly candles. So I'm not, the trend is our friend. We're not going against the trend at all. Hey, what's up, Rochelle? Peace and love. So let me give out a few tickers, and then I'm gonna get out the way. This week we got a few companies that are reporting. We got CRM who are reporting tomorrow in aftermarket. This is something that I keeping my eye on. Now, CRM runs in the Dow. I've shown you that how the Dow is looking on the charts. Let's look at it again. This is the Dow. A nice trend going on right now. I can see the Dow continuing a upward movement, even though right now it's created a lower low from today. Actually, there is it still was you were still able to trade on the Dow today. Um, CRM runs on the Dow. I expect the Dow to continue to run. Right. I just told you that they report earnings tomorrow. Um, so I could see an opportunity with this. This is for those who like YOLO calls and whatnot. The floor on this thing is right here at around 155. It's trading at 165 right now. However, you see I got a trend line going right here and whatnot. So if we take this up, our cursor up here to the trend line, we're looking at about 183. I'm just saying. Um, I know what I'll be doing. Um, on this one here, anticipating the move to the upside. Because at this point, this is at a bottom right here. I like my chances with this with a big pop headed into earnings. I mean, after they report. However, this is very risky. So I'm not telling nobody to trade this or anything like that because it could go against you. But just talk. I'm not telling you what you should be doing anyway. I'm telling you what I might do. All right. So some other stocks that I'm looking at this week. Snapchat. Snapchat. Now, I typically don't even fool with Snapchat. um, I don't know. I just, I never really bothered it. However, it runs. It's a social media stock, if you will. So the chart looks a lot like Facebook. We see that they had this big drop on what was that Monday. Monday it closed and then it dropped. Facebook did. Same thing happened with Snapchat. I'm I'm sure I haven't even looked, but I'm sure the same thing or something similar. No, it didn't happen to Twitter. Actually, Twitter is fired off. But back to Snapchat. The reason why I like Snapchat, let me blow these candles up a little bit and show you exactly what I'm saying. When it did gap down, we have this area right here. And now, once you get a stock that gaps down like this, um, okay, where are we going, right? And since it made this drop, the next day it made a higher low. The next day a higher low and a higher high, and then the next day it made a higher low and a higher high. So what it is, and is it has a nice beautiful trend line that is forming as well. Now it is broken out past. It has chosen its direction. In other words, I believe it has chosen its direction, and now it looks as if it's headed up here to close this gap. Now, um, so let's look at Snapchat on the monthly chart. Same thing. It dropped. Ooh, that's it dropped $18 basically last month. So nothing falls forever. With what I'm saying about how the SPY's looking and how the Nasdaq, how the markets are looking overall, things look like it's ready to shift. Let's look at the weekly chart because again it dropped a lot last week, but it fought back and it it gained about 25% of what it lost last week. And now let's look at the daily for we see what's happening on the daily. It's breaking out nice trend, and we're out of where it gapped down to. It's broken out cleanly. So I'd like to see it to a move to the upside. Now, um, this is something that I'm going to buy multiple contracts in, and If it gets up here and closes the gap is at the gap fill is at 2171, right? If it gets up here, great, right? Beautiful. If it does not, I still can get up here to 50% of the gap fill is around $18, right? Um, so what I'm saying is basically, I like it to the upside based off of the overall what the market is doing, the reversal that I've just shown you on all the major indices. I like this as well for a move to the upside. I don't know if it will close the gap. That's why I'm saying I'm buying multiple contracts. Uh, at some point, I'm going to pay myself probably around here the 50% mark, and then I'll hold possibly one or whatever until at least one until it closes. It goes up here and uh, closes this gap, or if it gets rejected, then I'll get out. Um, so that's one thing that I'm looking at this week. Actually, what I plan on trading this week. Um, Another one is Stitch Fix. Stitch Fix. Let me get these big candles up out of here looking crazy so you can get a better idea. Stitch Fix is a company that I used to love to trade when they was like, I don't know, $30, $40. Um, I remember getting a lot of money off of them, holding through earnings. But anyway, it's been beat down, right? It's been knocked down. Well, the market's been beat down too, but they've been on a decline since September, just getting slaughtered. So based off again what I've seen the market's doing, um, let me put my stuff up again. Um, we see this. I use the DMI, the directional moving index, and the ADX, which basically shows you the strength of the move and the power of the move in the direction, right? So the red is for red candles. It means that's the bearish movement. The green is the bullish movement. And we see that this is getting ready to cross up on the daily. Um, so this is something that I plan on going long on, right in the money, going long, buying some time and letting it do what it do. Here's the thing. Uh, I believe the market has hit a level of support. I believe that this has hit a level of support. We see here that the low was right here on this day, and it went back and retested it, and it did not take out that low of 671. It got as low as $7. It did not. So it's been tested. It tested the bottom once. So basically, you could say that this is a double bottom. Okay, and based off what I'm seeing with the markets and whatnot, this is something I'm going to go long with, and it in anticipation of it following the markets, and we could break out of here and get some move to the upside. You know, my target here is very modest. My target here is $13 from $8, which is a $5 move. That's going to give you some good percentages if you go long and kind of not forget about it, but just don't panic or nothing like that. Just buy the time and let the market do what it's doing, what it does, and that's pay us. So that's another one to keep on your watch list. And I'm gonna throw out this other one, um, Royal Caribbean. Um, it's one that I actually got in on Friday. Um, going long on this one as well. Uh, what I like about this one again, the DMI is starting to break above 20. Once it breaks above 20, that means that we have hella strength, and we see that the bearish DMI is starting to come down. So at some point soon, these two will cross up. If they continue on this same path, if we continue to get uptick on this thing, these two should cross. And I'm looking at a target of $65, looking to take out this high right here. Again, a lot of these contracts are not super expensive too. So you could buy some time, buy some Julys, buy some August. That's what I'm gonna do, right? Buy some Julys and buy some August contracts, and let the markets work for you. So, in other words, it's been times where the way the markets is as volatile as they've been and things like that, I was basically trading by day, right? Get in, get your money, and get out. Now I'm seeing an opportunity where we could get some things and let them run, get into these stocks and let them run a little bit, be patient and whatnot to take out these levels, because they very well could take out these levels. However, they're going to test this level at what's the high? 64.46, right? So we're gonna test that level. If it gets rejected, it is running into the 20 real soon. And I do not necessarily like the way the 20 is looking right now. It's kind of like, I call it an ice pick. It's looking like an ice pick, and it could go up here and hit it and get pushed back. But that doesn't mean that it could bounce off of it, pull back, and then come back even stronger and take out this low. Will it happen? I'm not necessarily sure. I'm not sold that the market is long-term bullish, but right now, as of today, things are looking right up ahead of me at this chart right here. There's nothing on this chart that's telling me that this thing is going the other direction, right? So everything is telling me, because it's already above 50% of this move, it's at about 60% of this move from this high to this low. So I like it to the upside to retest this area. If it breaks it, cool. If it doesn't, I'll be watching it. That's why it's important to set your alerts. I don't have none on here right now, but it's important to set your alerts. Like I will put an alert on the 20-day moving average, so that when price hits the 20-day moving average, then I can go and watch it and see exactly what's happening. How's it reacting to that? Okay. So those are a few tickers that I threw out. I had a couple more. Let's look at Apple. Apple got me last week too. That same move on that Wednesday that I showed you on SPY, the same move. It gapped down on that Thursday and just took off, and the next day it gapped up and took off. So Apple is already passed up the 10-day moving average. This blue one is my 10-day, and my 20-day average is right here. It's already of that. I got a trend line right here. The way it's looking, I was really hoping that it closed above 150 on Friday. It teased us. It got up to 149.68. However, I like it where it is right here. This is an old ass trend line I got that I drew way back here, and I just been extending it and whatnot. It actually broke through that as well. We might get a nice pullback. Hopefully, I'm hoping that we can get a nice pullback to about 148, like right there, 148. I'll probably set an alert around right here to because that's what my 20-day moving average is. So I like the fact that it could pull back to that and possibly continue an even more powerful move to the upside. So things are looking pretty bearish. I mean, bullish in the markets right now. However, that could all change in a matter of days. Who's to say? It could go up here, hit this trend line, and boom, pull all the way back. Will that happen? I don't know. I don't think so. Based off of everything that I'm showing you in the major indices, I think that we can get some upward movement on quite a few stocks headed into this week. So anyway, appreciate you all. Who we got? Big gap fill on Snap. Yes. Facebook had a big gap to fill too back in February, and it keeps grinding lower. That's true. Let's look at that, bro. Let's look at Facebook right quick again. Someone just brought up an interesting point about this huge gap. Let me take all this off because I don't want to confuse you all. Facebook fell from the heavens. It fell from 316 all the way down to a low of 235. That's an $80 move, an $80 drop. Now, all gaps get filled though, right? I believe that too. It's not a matter of if it'll happen, it's a matter of when. And that's the part about trading that because this is the easiest, hardest thing you could ever do in life is trade. Nothing is an absolute. Yes, we're going to go back up to the upside at some point. When, I don't know. Any time in this foreseeable future right now, I don't know. Nothing is telling me we're going way up here again. However, I do like the fact that when we did get down to this low, I need to take this alert off actually. When we're down here in this level, in these levels, Facebook likes to buy. Buyers like to buy Facebook in these levels. And we see right now a nice trend in everything. I could see Facebook getting up to about right here to this level. I actually have it going to 210. This is something that I plan to put into our trading chat this week for people to trade. They'll be trading this. I'm going to stick with Snapchat and SPY this week. And I want to point out something with SPY as well. Now, I just told you all that I believe that we're going to get some bullish movement. We're going to go to the upside, right? However, I don't want people to take for granted what's going on right here on SPY. It's basically getting ready to go into a consolidation zone. Why do I say that? Because look right here. Last time it was in this area from where it is now to 429. The last time it was over here for about a week and a half, nearly 2 weeks. Kind of just bounced all around in this zone. And prior to that, when it was in this zone, it kind of just bounced around. So that tells me that there's a struggle. Usually there's a struggle going on in this area. However, also in this lane, when it does hit a certain level, the levels that we're in, look at this big green candle in the push. This one pushed. This one went from, this move started at 410 and it went up to 433. This move started, let's go right here. This move started from 486 and right now it's at 415. So this is about a 20 some dollar move. I could see the same thing happening up here before we get some type of a pullback. I believe that we'll get some type of a pullback around this 221 area. And so what I'm saying is be careful and be mindful. So my um, how I'll be approaching SPY will be no different, knowing that it's going into a consolidation zone. So I'm already in these calls. Uh, I won't be holding them, unless it breaks through 429 tomorrow. I don't see that necessarily happening. I hope it does, right? But trading what's right in front of you. So be mindful of that, right? Be mindful of once we get in this zone, there's a very good chance that it's going to pull back and things like that. If that happens, there's not a need to panic or whatever and think the sky's falling or nothing like that, because that's what it does in this area, right? But I also want to stress that this is also a buy zone. They love to buy. Look at it. I'm not making it up. When SPY gets down in this area, they like to buy. So everything on the chart from where it is right now, where it started on Friday, is upward movement, right? So I do believe that we're going to get up here in this area. I just would like to see it take out this zone, but I also know that it's a lot of usually in this area there's some sort of consolidation. So be mindful of that. So what I'm saying is I'm not saying that we're about to go to the moon. You got to be patient and you have to take what's happening, because it very well could go up here to this level and then just decide to retrace. So don't get caught holding. Don't get caught holding. That's what I'm really saying. So anyway, let me wrap this up and whatnot. Amen to trading. The easiest, hardest thing to do. Man, that's what it is, bro. But I appreciate you all for coming through. Do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the share button, subscribe to the channel, help me grow the channel and whatnot. I'll be coming back with more. I think this week I'm going to do a lot more live trading. I'm going to do some live trading. I'll probably do the snap play live and whatnot. OST got in at 4. Man, that's what's up, man. That's nice. It ran to the 48 in 2 days. Man, let's look at that one. I don't think I'm up on that. Wow. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's pretty heavy. That was a nice little run for them couple of days when it first got out the box. Yeah, that's a good move. But anyway, I'm gonna end this video now. I appreciate you all for coming through. And I'll be checking into you. Be looking for the live videos this week. I'm gonna be going live, running through things and some of these trades and keeping us up on what SPY is doing and how the markets are looking. Y'all have a good. Hopefully, you all had a good holiday and whatnot. And I'll be back soon. Peace and love.